What's happening out there, YouTube? I'm going to be putting on some of these Trail Ridge truck mirrors on my 2016 Nissan Pro 4X. That's the mirror type. And so let's go ahead and start with the door panel. You got this panel that fits over here like this. You're going to have to use your interior fastener removing tool to pull out these connectors and pull that thing off. Comes off real easy. Then you're going to notice that the wiring harness is buried in behind the door panel. So for the door panel, you're going to have to pull off the armrest cover. So use your, again, interior removing tools to kind of pry that up, and then you're going to pull that piece straight up. You can see how they kind of fasten in there. You have to pull off that guy. It comes out really easy. That's kind of your control panel. Same thing, interior removing tool. Then you're going to have to pull off these covers here and here. Same thing. Just be gentle. Those are a little bit of a struggle. But you got a fastener behind there, and then you got two fasteners behind there, and then you're just going to have to kind of pop this panel out from the bottom and maneuver it on out over the door handle. One thing about these mirrors that I bought, since the Pro 4X has this type of mirror connector, which it provides control and heat, I got to modify my connector because these new mirrors that I got don't have this type of connector. They had a little 3-prong connector like that, and that obviously ain't gonna fit into the other side of this. So as much as I hate to do it, I had to cut that off. So when you cut it off your factory mirror, then if you ever go back to your original mirrors, you could always just remake this onto the OEM mirror harness. That dude, like I said, I cut it off, left me plenty, so if I got to go back to it, I can do it. Even though I hate to do it, but 'tis what it tis. So you see the black wires down there for the heat. Well, I'm not going to be getting no heat on these dudes, and I live in Colorado, and I need heated mirrors, but I'm garage parked, and this really isn't my daily driver, so it's not huge deal. So I am going to marry this connector to the wiring harness of my new mirror. So we're going to see how it goes. I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to make my splice with my OEM wiring harness connector to the wiring harness of the aftermarket mirrors. And I'm going to use the Scotch lock connectors. If you're not familiar with these, Amazon, eBay, whoever, your local electrical supply store has them. They're great. Push them in, and then just make sure they're seated, the wire well in there, and then you just use a pair of pliers and crimp down the red insert into the connector. Okay, I have them spliced together, and before I tape, I'm going to test. Make sure that the mirror operates. See how that goes. Alright, so I plugged in the mirror to the harness, and I will give it a test. We go up, or that's actually down. We go up. They're working. Moving left to right. And then the bottom one, obviously, that doesn't move. That's just kind of a manual adjust. Alright, so we're good here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap them up with a little bit of tape. I'm not going to go too crazy because I don't know if I'm going to have these on here for the life of the truck. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I got it wrapped up with some tape. Just a couple reminders when you put your connectors in, give them a pull test to make sure that they're securely seated in the connector. When you cut your OEM harness and you got your black, can you see them? The black heater wires. Leave those. I just wrapped them around. And then obviously when you tape, leave yourself a little flag so when you come back one day to put on your OEM mirrors. It's not a struggle undoing your harness. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mount the mirror. Okay, I got the mirror mounted, and I'm going to get everything plugged back in and put back together. One thing I forgot to mention, so on the wiring harness on the, I'll just say the chassis side, not the mirror, you got this connector here that plugs up into there. You had to needle nose it together and push it through. So I had to do that before I started, or you'll never get this thing unconnected. So ready to put it back together. And there you go. Got to push through, and it springs out. And it's some springy plastic. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put some turns of tape on this portion that I kind of had to pull apart. Actually, I didn't, to be honest. I thought that this was the mirror harness, and so I won't make that same mistake on the other side. All right, so that first connector I thought was the mirror, and it's not. The mirror connector is there, as I already said. You actually do have to unconnect that to pull it back. And yeah, we just leave the foam and all that there, so you don't have to get at that. And thank God, it was much easier. But this was just hidden to me, so I just didn't see it. Backyard mechanics. All right, so the interior sound protection, soundproofing, little layer there, that kind of membrane has that rubber gooey adhesive that goes around. If you want to kind of reconstitute that, you got to use a heat gun to gently, don't go crazy with the heat gun, but to get that to re-stick, again, gently, don't go nuts. Okay, so if we're putting the door panel back on, I know you guys are also a lot of backyard mechanics. You obviously have to lift this piece, kind of get it up in on that door sheet metal lip, and then you gotta kind of play with this a little bit to get it around the hole. And then you got the pins go all the way around it. You just push them in. Then we just got to put the fasteners on back there and put the door armrest back in, and we'll be in business. All right, just wanted to show you those fasteners once again. You got that one there, then you have the two over here. All right, and once you get those off at the beginning, then just be able to kind of work the door away, the door panel away from the door itself. Okay, got the door panel all back on. Literally takes a minute. Easy, easy, easy. I just got to put that trim piece on back there. All right, let's see how it works. All right, well, first off, let's take a look at the mirror. Looks pretty good. These do slide in and out. So these are for towing. But even in, they're going to be longer than the original mirrors. All right, and of course they came pre-scratched from eBay. You have the chrome piece, but they also give you a black snap-on piece that matches that. I'm not sure which one I'll go with yet, but there we go. That's just one side. All right, let's take a look at the operation of the mirror. Gonna roll down the window. Turn the key on first. All right, so let's go bring the mirror in. Nice. Bring the mirror out. Real quiet operation. Let's go up with it. You can actually see down the side of the vehicle. And I gotta adjust that lower mirror by hand. Turn off windshield wipers. So, yeah, I mean, so far so good. See how it goes. The mirror does seem to be a pretty solid construction. Fairly similar to like what we'd find on, maybe even better than a Ford or a Chevy. They seem to be even more solid. I got a Chevy 2500 I drive at work, and let's see, it's a 2017. Similar mirrors. These actually seem to be a little more solid. So we'll see how it goes. All right, I got the driver's mirror on. Let's go ahead and give that one a test. I already tested it, like I said. So bring the mirror in, bring the mirror up, get it adjusted. I'll probably have to work on this dude a little bit. Bottom one's a real rigid adjust. Very. But I guess it's better than being sloppy. So there you go. Let's pull the truck out and take a look at it. Before I do, I might want to mention a couple things. So before you put this panel back on, make sure you get those pins lined up on top real good, or they will break off easy. And also, you want to take your ratchet and torque those fasteners down. I don't know what the specs are. You can look it up. I didn't go crazy with it. I was probably in the inch-pounds area. You know when too tight is too tight because you broke it. So don't go too crazy. Go easy on that. You might want to look up the torque specs. I didn't. I think I generally got a pretty good feel for that kind of stuff. All right, let's pull it out and take a look at it. All right, so there you have it, 2016 Nissan Frontier Pro 4X edition. I think they look great. Like I said, they do come with another cap to put here, which is the same as this. Kind of that little bit textured ABS plastic looking stuff. And yeah, I think they look good. I think they're going to stick out a little bit much. You know, you need every inch in the garage. But yeah, I'm liking them. So, hope this helped. And I'm going to be pulling an RV with this truck. So I wanted to make sure I had the right mirrors. I did not want to do the clip-on mirrors because those look, well, I'll let you fill in the blank. So, anywho, there you have it. Hope this helped you guys. Take care.